A healthy reminder. This bitch walked. She fucking strutted that runway, mama, so that Peppa could run! I want some of your brownsugar. I want some of your brownsugar. I want some of your brownsugar.
Welcome back to my channel. This is Brownsugar Commentary, and I'm your girl, Kayla. If you're new here, make sure to subscribe for more videos about Black entertainment, Black womanhood, and whatever heck else I feel like talking about this week. Alright, let's get right into it. So, this past week, I found out some amazing, wonderful news. And when I found out this news, I said, oh my God, we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. So, if y'all do not know, Degrassi the Next Generation is one of my favorite shows of all time. Like, of all freaking time. Like, this was one of the first shows growing up that I was truly invested in, and I really tuned in every week from the time, like, it first came on the N Network, all the way until it went to Netflix. Like, I was that. Like, I know a lot of people started to fall off, like, in those later seasons. No, I hung up. I was in them trenches by my goddamn self, okay? I was tuned in. Like I said, there are very few shows that are near and dear to my heart that I am this invested in, but Degrassi was definitely the first show that I can remember that I genuinely loved. Like, I loved this show. So going right along with that, they recently announced that they're going to be doing a Degrassi reboot on HBO Max. And I said, oh my God, Euphoria girls gotta hold on to your weaves, because the Queen Bee is back, honey, okay? Degrassi's Next Generation is the freaking original, the blueprint, often imitated, often duplicated, never imitated, okay? The creme de la creme of teen drama shows, okay? She walked so that Euphoria could run, even though I do think essentially they're very different shows, but I get the comparison in some ways. But this show is literally the blueprint of what a teen drama show should be, and it is my favorite show and one of the best shows, period. Like, even it transcends being just a teen show. Like, it is a very good, damn good show, okay? That really kept the girls on the edge of their seats every single week, okay? So what exactly I want to talk about is why Degrassi is such a great show, like what I loved about it, my favorite characters, my favorite moments, all that, and then talk about what I want to see in the reboot. And I'm going to try to keep it cute and concise, honey, because I already know how I be doing it, especially when it comes to my show, okay? So first things first, what makes Degrassi such an incredible show? Like, well, first, like I said, I get the comparisons with Euphoria, but I feel like what makes it different, and this is something I also seen somebody talk about in a TikTok, like, recently, was that Euphoria is a show about teens, but they're played by adults, and it's for an adult audience, because I don't feel like no one under the age of 17 should be watching no goddamn Euphoria. And 17 is also, like, a bit of a stretch. Like, I gotta give, like, a very mature 17-year-old, because, like, there are some scenes of Euphoria that's literally borderline porn, and, like, given how kids were acting to 13 Reasons, they are very impressionable and quick to, you know, replicate certain things, and the kind of, like, obviously the show doesn't necessarily on purpose sensationalize drugs, but I feel like the way they kind of, like, play out the, like, Rue doing drugs and stuff, like, I feel like younger teens could easily replicate that, and it has very disastrous consequences because they don't realize it's just a show and it's a fictionalized, you know, account of these things. But neither here nor there. Like I said, Euphoria is definitely for a more adult audience, and it is a show about kids that just so happen to be in high school. Like, it's not about the high school whatsoever. Like recently they had a whole trend about, like, Euphoria high school, because we don't even know what the hell the name of the damn school is. I mean, it might have been mentioned, but we don't talk about it. Like, school is just another setting in the show. Like, most of the events that take place on this show is outside of the school. Like I said, we don't even know any teachers or like who the principal is. We never seen these kids. Maddie don't even bring in a damn backpack to school. You see, she just be bringing vibes in a purse. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that show is not about that high school at all. Where Degrassi, like, literally the show is named after the school, and then most of the events that take place is the school. So that's why a show like Degrassi can have a reboot. Because y'all already know I don't really care for reboots, but a show like Degrassi can come back because it's a show about a high school, and you can literally keep a show like that going forever. It really doesn't matter. Like, you know, if you like whatever. Like I said, yeah, they could have easily made another show about a high school and had the same vibe, but I mean, you know, I'll take the nostalgia bait for now because I'm falling for it. Okay, I'm falling for it. But yes, for y'all that don't know, Degrassi is technically a reboot. That's what's called The Next Generation. There was a show called Degrassi Junior High back in the day. I think it was like around the 80s. And in Degrassi Next Generation, it follows some of the characters from that show. You have Snake, who was a teacher that later becomes the principal. And then you have Spike, and Spike is Emma, who's one of the characters in Next Generation's mother. And then you have Joey, and Joey is Snake's best friend and also ends up being a character named Craig's parent in Next Generation. And then you have Caitlin. Caitlin and Joey have a little bit of a on and off thing going on. And also Spike and Snake are a thing also, and they later get married in the later seasons. But that's kind of how the first couple of seasons start, with those people from the original show. And then obviously we go into Emma and her classmates in the grade above them. And then we go through all of that, and then more characters come in and whatever, and so on and so forth. And it's a typical high school show in some ways, but obviously it was one of a kind and a first of its kind. Because, like, when you think about older, like, teen drama or even teen comedy shows, like a Saved by the Bell or Dawson's Creek or A Boy Meets World, like, it's like, it's cute. Like, compared to Degrassi, it's very cute, typical, teen stuff, like, relationships, and we might talk about sex a little bit, not really. And it might, typical, like, you have the love triangle or the breakup to makeup type couples, or, what I'm saying, like, the jock, the nerd, the popular kid or the class clown, and the, what I'm saying, like the cheerleader, like those type of things, the overachiever. I'm literally just describing all of the characters of Saved by the Bell, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just like most high school shows just follow that type of vibe, and like that works. But Degrassi is like, let's turn it up a notch. Like, this show literally covered so many topics that we didn't even see in adult shows at the time. That's why I said it was a show for teens, but it handled the subject matter, like the serious subject matter, in such a way that it wasn't dumbed down to us. Like, this was serious stuff we were like learning about, but it never felt like, one, they were preaching to us, or two, it was like, like it was never feeling like it was dumbed down. Like, it never felt like a cutesy little kid show. Like, it felt like this is serious stuff going on. And this show literally covered everything. Like, it covered the first episode. We was talking about thinking meeting up with people on the internet, like meeting up with strangers on the internet and catfishing. Like, we talked about, sex a bunch of times. Okay, obviously typical sex and drugs. Like, I learned a lot about drugs from this show, because like I was a sheltered church kid. I know nothing about this stuff. Okay, but it covered a lot. I learned a lot about drugs because of this show. It covered mental illness. It covered physical illness. Like, they did cancer a couple of times. Obviously we character Jimmy, a character that was paralyzed. We got mental illness. Like I said, we dealt with bipolar, I think twice, because I think both Eli and Craig had bipolar disorder, if I'm not mistaken. We dealt with body image issues. We dealt with, I said drugs before, like a couple of times, because like but drugs, we dealt with alcohol. It got cute with it, but like I said, Degrassi went there. I feel like that was their slogan for a while. Like, we go there. Like, yes, they did. Because like I said, like, abuse, we did domestic abuse, we did parent abuse, we did, sexual abuse. We dealt with school shooting. That's probably the first time I've ever seen school shooting being portrayed in a show. We dealt with, what else, child? Death within like students, and death with kids dealing with parents' deaths. We dealt with, honey, everything. This is just the top of my head, like what I can think of right now. Everything. Okay, anything you could think of that a teen drama show or any drama show could deal with, this show did it, and did it with flying colors. Because that's one thing I can commend Degrassi Next Generation for, was that it executed these storylines very well. It was always characters that we cared about. Like, even, and Degrassi was the first show I saw queer representation before. Like, I never knew exactly about, queerness and gay characters until I watched this show, and I was like, wow, like, and like I said, I feel like it was great because it normalized that for me as a kid that just never saw that growing up, and like I saw it in Degrassi. So when I did see it in real life, I was like, okay, like Marco, like, you know, like that's how I thought of it. And so that's why when parents say that stupidness about it, like now, and they're like, oh, like my kid can't see, you know, a gay character in a show, it's like, no, it's just making it normal. Like, what's the problem? But yeah. This show, like I said, it handled the storylines really well. It made sure they were fleshed out. There was always, like, it's not like a character did one thing in one episode and there was no consequences in the next. I also always loved the formatting of this show. Like, this show always had like an A and a B and sometimes C plot line. So like there was always like two storylines kind of simultaneously going on at once. But I always loved how it always just came together in the end. But like I said, sometimes we need a part 2 or a part 3, especially them season openers used to have you just shaking in your boots, okay? But yeah, and like I said, iconic moments for sure. Like I said, you got the Rick storyline and the shooting. You got JT dying, rest in peace, never forget, to my boy, okay? And Adam dying, oh my God, that was another heartbreaker for me, for sure. You got the time when they went to France. Like, I love them little special episode when they go to like France or something. That was crazy. Or the movie I think when we went to Hollywood once, that was a good little movie one, and New York was another one. I think Vegas was another one. These kids went everywhere, child. You know, and then like those first initial seasons, we see like when Emma and them went to college, so we did a little bit of college stuff there. What else? I mean, somebody compared Maddie and Cassie to Manny and Emma, and I was like, yep, that's the original. And when Manny wore that thong, okay, that blue thong, that's a character by itself, okay? You had the love triangle with Manny, Ashley, and Craig. When we first met Craig, when he found out his daddy was abusive, that was a whirlwind right there. The time when he took Joey and them car for a joyride, that was crazy. Like there's just, and then you have the later seasons with Claire and Eli and their whole back and forth on and off deal. And then you got Allie and all her antics. And her brother also he got into a little bit of something too. And then Jenna getting pregnant and Liberty getting pregnant. You know, it's just a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff, okay? A lot of iconic things. Obviously, like I said, you got iconic characters, iconic duos, trios. Remember the little group with Jimmy, Craig, Spinner, and Marco, I think it was? Their little band. That was cute. But yeah, my favorite characters of all time will probably have to be Marco for sure. I love me some Marco. I love Manny. I think Manny was cute. I think she was fun. I liked Jimmy. I liked Hazel, even though she had absolutely nothing to do. I love Liberty. That's my girl, period. JT, like I said, rest in peace to my boy. Okay, and then later seasons, I loved Jane, the one that dated Spinner for a cute little minute. I love Claire. I love Claire and Eli together. I ship them like FedEx, okay? E-Claire all the way, baby, okay? Allie. I loved Allie. Tristan was cool. He was one of the people at the very, very end. I liked him a little bit. I definitely got to rewatch this show. I started watching it, but then it got too triggering for me because now I'm an adult. I got trauma now. Like, I can't watch this show the way I used to watch it when I was younger where I had nothing to worry about. Like, now I'm, like, triggered. Like, so when it comes to HBO, I think it's going to come on. I think it was on another streaming platform, like a random streaming platform. I was watching it, but I want to watch it when it comes on HBO so I can really, really watch it. And I'm going to make out a video for y'all of me and my rewatch and my reactions and my thoughts and my breakdown and stuff like that because I really want to do that. But yeah, you know, like I said, like this show really just did the damn thing, like down to the theme song, like whatever it takes, I know I can make it through. Be the best that I can be. Here what I say to you, whatever it takes, I know I can make it through. Like that's a lifestyle. That's a way to live. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna take you through it. You needed, like, these kids was going through it. Okay, they were going through it, but it was good. We were here for it. And they better bring back that theme song. Either find that lady or find somebody that could sing like that lady. I want the same lady with the choir. Because they try to make it rock like in those later seasons. Don't do that. if you're gonna do that, just bring a new theme song. But if you're gonna bring the original back, bring the original back and find you a soul singer to sing it with the choir and all. I want nothing less. Okay, down to the theme song. This show is just freaking iconic. And then the last thing I want to talk about that was legendary about this show was the fact that they were great at ushering in new characters. Like, they were great at ushering new characters, and I love the fact that they, like, yeah, some characters would have similar, like, energies about them. Like, you could see that they're, like, this version of whatever, but it never felt like a carbon copy. Like, it never felt like they said copy paste. Like someone like a Holly J and Paige have similar vibes, but they're obviously very, very different. Or I guess, yeah, like Holly J is probably like a hybrid of like Ashley and Paige. Like, if Ashley and Paige had a love child, it would be Holly J. That's how I feel. Like, she's like a mean girl, but then she's like a type A. Like, she wants to be at the top of her class and all those things, but then she's complex. Like, you know, like that type of thing. And like, you know, Paige just wanted to be popular. She didn't care about no damn school, okay? And then you have someone like an Allie. Like, Allie was giving very much Manny type of vibes. But then, like, Allie was a little bit different, too. Because Allie was another one about her schoolwork, you know. And then she has a whole difference about her, you know, being, I think both of them are minorities, though. So, like, they had that same, like, strict parents, but they were, like, two different types of strict parents. And then, obviously, different relationships they got into. But you know what I mean? Like, and even, like, someone like a Claire and Liberty also have similar vibes as well. But then they're a little bit different. You know what I mean? So, I just love the fact that you can see similarities between, like, these characters, but they don't feel like carbon copies. And I feel like a lot of shows, like, suck at that. Like a Grey's Anatomy. That's where Grey's Anatomy started to fail in these newer seasons, because they stopped caring about those newer characters and they started to give them random storylines or like, who the hell is this and why do we care? Where like Degrassi really kept doing that up until the end. Like some of those like later seasons are like I said, like the next class, the ones on Netflix, like they're not as interesting, but you know, the effort's there, kind of, not really, because like I don't think they was trying. And that Netflix show, that's why it got quickly canceled, because what the hell was that? But you know, so I definitely think we need to make sure we don't do that again. But yeah. And another thing I want to talk about is promotion. Because when I tell you, them little summer like specials they used to do where they had like new episodes every day for like 3 weeks or so in the summertime. Like, everybody keeps talking about that shark in the water thing. I think that was for the Boiling Point promo. Excellent. Like, I don't understand why more shows did not adopt this type of advertising. Like, that is genius. Like, whoever thought of that, chef's kiss genius. Okay? And then you had nowhere to run the following summer. Like, come on. Come on. And like I said, I love the little like specials with the movie. Like, you know, they go to a different location. Like, that's interesting. Like, I just think like like I said, whoever was originally a part of this like production team and cast, they genuinely cared about this show. Like, you can tell like tender love and care went into each and every episode and season of this show, and it showed. And I really hope that they bring that energy for this reboot, because if not, you can keep it. Okay, like, you can freaking keep it. Like, I don't want it. The only big thing I will say that I just didn't care for when it came to Degrassi is its treatment of people of color, especially black kids on this show. Like, black kids got absolutely nothing to do. Like, I can sit here and count to you the amount of, like, on my hand, the amount of black characters between all these seasons, and I can't tell you anything significant about them or any major storylines other than Jimmy. Like, I feel like Jimmy probably got the most to do in terms of black characters that had storylines. Like, Jimmy and Liberty, maybe. And even Liberty, y'all did Liberty dirty as hell, okay? You telling me Liberty, top of the class, is the one that got pregnant by JT of all people? Like, it was great for television, but, like, and then had the nerve to kill him off? Like, come on. Has she not gone through enough? Because I know she gave the baby up, right? I don't think she kept the baby. She didn't keep the baby. So, like, you made her give the baby up, and then you made her baby daddy die. Why? Why did we do that? Did Liberty not deserve happiness? That's what y'all telling me. She didn't deserve happiness. Then you had Jimmy. Jimmy had his whole future in front of him. Basketball star, all that good stuff. Had his best friend stabbing him in the back, and got shot, paralyzed from the waist down. Like, come on. Why? 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 Like, why did he deserve that? And then the rest of them are pretty, like, not that memorable. I remember there's one girl with the dreads. I cannot remember her name for real. But she was there and she existed. See, I don't remember her name. Like, she wasn't interested. I don't think she got one storyline. If she did, it was barely a storyline. I remember there was a black girl later on around, like, Jenna and them season. But she, once again, got nothing to do. Like, see, I don't remember her name. Like, there's Connor. Connor had, what's it called? He had, like, autism, I think it was. And he was there. I mean, that boy glowed up, though. The guy that plays him in real life, that was a glow up. I think he glowed up like the last season of Degrassi, but he glowed up even more than that last season. He was fine, okay? Very, very fine, okay? And then you had, what else? And then you had Dave. Rest in peace to the dude that plays Dave in real life, because he did pass away recently, and I feel like nobody talks about it like that. Rest in peace to him. But Dave, another one. His daddy was a cop, and that was all I knew about it. Like, he really had nothing else going on. And then there was the other one who was like a jock. He was like biracial looking. I cannot remember his name, but he was there. Once again, see, like most of these people, I don't remember their name because they were not. I think Dallas was his name. That was his name. Him and Allie had a little thing for a little bit. Once again, like he just existed. Like I feel like most of these characters got nothing to do. As well as, like I said, Latinx characters, Latinx characters. Is Manny? No, I don't think Marco for sure is Latinx. But I think Bianca and Mia are the only other two ones that were his like Latinx. I think that was it. Was Imogen? I don't think Imogen was. Imogen another favorite of mine. I really liked Imogen. But yeah, like and then Asian characters, you had Allie and her brother, and then Spinner's sister, half sister, adopted sister, whatever the hell she was. And then Manny, I think Manny was like Asian or half Asian or something like that, right? Was Santos? I don't know. I know she was not white, but I wasn't really clear on what exactly her ethnicity was. But yeah, like let's fix that. And like I said, Hazel was just there. The only storyline she got was the time when we found out that she was a Muslim and she was trying to hide it and said she was Jamaican when she wasn't. And I feel like that was a great storyline when it came to like Islamophobia, because I feel like it's the first time I ever seen something like that on television. But we never talk about her being is like from a we never talk about her being Muslim like literally ever again. Like it was just a thing and it happened and that's just it. And like even her and Jimmy's relationship literally got nothing to do. You'd have had Jimmy make up and break up with Ashley all these times, and him and Hazel just got together out of random because it felt like the same problem I have with Chad and Taylor in High School Musical. You're like, okay, y'all are two blacks, get together. Like nothing, no type of, no arguments, no conflict, no nothing, no passion, nothing. Like it was just boring. Oh my God. Like, oh, remember Peter? Peter was a menace, child. Peter was a freaking mess. I just thought about him and Darcy. But yeah, like black kids had nothing to do on this show. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all talking about y'all want black kids on Euphoria? No, I don't want no black people on that show. Like, ruin them. The biracials could handle it. They could hold that down, okay? Y'all see what they did to McKay ass, okay? McKay got assaulted, and we have yet to discuss that. Like, it's just a thing that happened. We just kept it going, and McKay is a loser. You see what they doing with them black characters on there? We don't want that. We don't want that. Them kids are traumatized. Like, yeah, the kids of Degrassi are traumatized, but you know, we could fix it. We could. That's a little bit better to me. Like Euphoria, them kids need therapy. I don't want no black kids on there at all. I'm sorry. I'm not part of the majority that wants black people on that show. No. Yeah, but I want better for minorities and black kids on that show going forward. Yes. Characters I would like to come back. Definitely would like to see Marco. I feel like he would be like the next Mr. Simpson in terms of like being a teacher and then like, you know, eventually becoming principal. He could just start being principal. You know, I feel like he's given like the cool teacher that people come to for advice and confide in. And he's just real cool. I would like to see Paige come back. I want to see like if she has like a daughter or a son, like what would that look like? I want to see what Spinner and Emma's kid turn out to be like, because that was the randomest pairing in all of Degrassi history. Like, what was that about? Like seriously. I feel like I want to see Claire and Eli. Like, do they? Because I don't remember if they were together at the end or not. But if they ended up staying together, or what is that about? And then Do I want to see Craig come back? No. We already know Jimmy ain't gonna make no damn appearance. Like, I wonder if they could like allude to the fact that he became like a famous like rapper or something, because technically in the show, that's the first time I did see Drake rap, was on that episode with him and Ashley. So, you know, like, I wonder if they'll like allude to that. But like, that's crazy to think that that is where Drake came from. Like, I feel like we tend to forget that. Like, especially for me being such a fan of the show, I always kind of like slips my mind that that was a thing. Like, he really is an actor first. But yeah, I'm just really excited. Like, I'm super excited. I'm just ready to see what this reboot's going to give, and is it going to do my show justice? If not, they could take it off the air immediately. But I feel like the way that HBO is going in terms of programming, I definitely think this was probably the best place for it to go, because Netflix was not the place. It was not the place. So I think HBO, like I said, if they bring the original writers back, or at least people who are truly like fans of the show and know what this show is about, this reboot could really be just as great as the original, I think, if they really do what they need to do. And I'm here for it, 1000%. Move out the way, Gossip Girl reboot, because ain't nobody watching that, okay? Move out the way, you for it. I like you for it, but let me tell you something. Degrassi will always be number one, okay? But yes, I am so ready. But yeah, y'all let me know what y'all think about this reboot. Who do you want to come back? Who's your favorite characters from the original? What's your favorite moments in the original? Like, do you think Drake will make an appearance? Let me know all your thoughts and opinions down below. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I'll definitely see y'all in my next video. Peace out, y'all.